Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, for another scene set in the Chronicles of Darkness. Vampire Requiem, a Requiem for London. Tonight, the newly anointed bishop, now known to the city as Bishop Barnett, has an appointment with a very unfamiliar kindred, and not entirely of her own accord. Charlie. You are, after having settled matters at the circus, having taken care of the administrative work and preparations for whatever you intend to do with it, and saying goodbye to your good friend Jenna, who like you still uses her, unlike you, still uses the place as a haven. You begin making your way down out of Camden and into Hackney. The Roman baths there in particular. Is there anything she wants to do before she goes there?
She's fully fed, which is nice. So she doesn't need to do that. And Hackney is Crone territory, correct?
Yes.
Probably just try to casually stake out the bar, get a good feelings of okay, these are the entrances, these are the exits. Should something go down, this is how I get out of here quickly.
The Roman baths are they're quite expansive when you reach the location. It becomes very apparent to you that this place is quite secure. There is a lot of CCTV. There are no real blind spots, and quite a few exits on every side of the building. The building is comprised of multiple floors, but due to what it is, it's a fairly large flat building. Only 2 or 3 floors to it, from what you can see.
Okay.
The exterior looks quite Corinthian. It really does look like a Greco-Roman temple modernized for the future. Very grandiose and opulent.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much the centerpiece of the street that you're on. It takes up much of it. You sort of rest just off the street in its own car park.
Nice.
But there still appears to be someone at the reception desk, the front side of the building.
I will approach.
You enter through the doors. The interior is, how do you say, smooth marble flooring, smooth marble ceiling, the walls covered in various pieces of art taken from the era that this place is inspired by. There are even descriptions of what the art is and what it's about beneath the art itself. Very much like exhibits. This part is, from what you can tell, from what the signs, and also like the introduction sign at the front of the building tells you, it's like part spa, almost like part museum in a way. But you approach the woman. She's well dressed for a receptionist.
I'm assuming Juno gave instruction beyond come here.
Simply told you to speak with the receptionist.
She will go up to the receptionist and just, with a very polite smile, say, excuse me, I'm here to speak with Miss Juno.
She perks up, and you see her eyes widen briefly when you say the name. May I have your name, madam?
It's Charlie Barnett.
Yes, the lady is present. I'll take you straight to her. Is there anything I can do for you beforehand?
No, I'm quite all right, thank you.
Then she will take you to down the halls and to one of the changing rooms. To the one of the larger baths in the building. The receptionist will say, "I will announce your presence to the lady. Please take all the time you need."
Of course.
And she'll bow to you, and we'll head out the other side of the changing room. You can hear the movement and splashing of water. Footsteps along the side, moving against tiles. And the near silent echoing of various whispers.
Is this like a locker room or something?
Mm-hmm.
Just want to very quickly, and I'll try to be quiet about this, but I'm not stealthy in any sense of the word. Just like do a quick scan and just make sure there's like no hidden weapon caches in here or something. I'm very paranoid.
Okay. Make me a wits plus composure roll.
Okay. Wits and composure and 3 successes.
You don't find anything that would indicate there is a weapons cache here or anything of the sort. You briefly shake one of the lockers with your vigor, and there's nothing in any of them.
Okay.
That's not entirely true. You shake several of them, and in some you hear the ruffling of clothes, and the clinging of the clinging of something metallic, like a watch or a belt.
Okay. I guess she will do the good old OnlyFans only content and strip into like the appropriate level of nudeness for this particular institution and put everything in a locker and then go into the bathhouse.
In the in the bath, it is you could feel the temperature from the changing room, but it's quite hot. It's very steamy. The pool is covered in rose petals. And various scented liquids. It is very ostentatious. Almost as if the bath had been made for someone of royalty, in a way. You are, it is not just you and Juno in the room. In fact, would you like to roll me with plus composure?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay.
Two successes.
Okay. You recognize Juno. She looks different than she did before. She looks even more beautiful, in fact. Just put her face in the chat for you. She doesn't appear to be wearing anything beneath the water. Her long hair just sort of floats gently. The water is sort of slowly flows back and forth between one end of the pool, reacting to the other people inside of it, who are largely silent, comprised entirely of very handsome men and women, and several other attendees who are just outside the pool, just to Juno's side. Appear to be dressed very lightly in what you would imagine to be ceremonial white tunics.
I didn't realize we would have so many. Well, I didn't realize we'd have such an audience. And she'll say that basically as she walks in and gets beside Juno.
Juno's the only one of a predatory aura. So you believe the rest of these people are mortals?
Mm-hmm. Okay. She still makes the comment about, wow, there are people in here to Juno.
I wish for you to be able to feast well and be served well.
I appreciate your hospitality.
Your appreciation is most welcomed.
So, I suppose you said you wanted to speak more. This would be, or rather, why don't we get down to, I don't want to say business, but more to the point of the matter. Unfortunately, I found myself very busy these past few nights.
That is a shame. While you may relax here to your heart's content, if you wish.
She'll smile and her shoulders will kind of relax a little. And she'll kind of sink down into the water just a little bit.
Do you turn on the blush of life?
Sure, we'll spend for that.
Okay, then it is very relaxing. Much less so for those with their bodies. But you can feel your muscles as they spring to life. Detense as you rest in the water. The heat is more it's more prominent. You feel it a little bit more. And the feeling of water upon your skin is also much more pronounced. It is very, very relaxing. If you were a mortal, you could probably lay here for hours.
She takes in like an unnecessary like breath and just kind of lets it out, and just like is looking at Juno, waiting for her to like start talking.
Your journey sounds like it has been a trying one, she says in response to Charlie sighing.
It has. It's been a hell of a year. We'll put it like that.
Juno looks off to the side. And she examines that statement quite intensely. She seems to mull on it. She even has... it's difficult to say. A look of nostalgia on her face. I remember such years. They are seldom, but when they happen, they are overwhelming. For me, it feels so much of my time in this world as if time is not moving at all. During years like this, it is as if centuries move within seconds. As if the world is making up for the time that it's lost.
Can't really speak to what the next years will look like, but The first one's been interesting, to say the least.
Living in such a time. To be born within such a time must be. Must make one feel small.
There's a shrug, and she says, I don't know how small I feel right now. I think I just feel busy. Uh, if anything, I feel a lot less small than I did before this. It's there's always the sentiment that even if you mess up, it's not that big a deal, because other people have definitely messed up in similar ways, and your experiences aren't singular. But now it's a matter of they are, and if I'm messing up, then it's a problem for me and everybody else. That that very much does not make me feel small.
It is rare one to see. It is rare to see one keep up with the world.
You either keep up with it or it leaves you behind.
You are right. But there will also come a time when you must leave this world behind. Although that is a very long time away, I think. I should not speak of it. It is very, very grim.
I'd prefer to keep off the grim topics for a little bit, to be honest. I've had enough of that recently.
Very well. You are safe here, and there is nothing that can hurt you. And if there is anything we can provide, please ask.
I'd like to do a wits plus sympathy on that. No.
How about no? You can't gauge her. She seems genuine. It's difficult to concentrate given that you're swooning for her.
Oh yeah, then that'd be one dice. So yeah, that's a super duper failure. She'll smile a little and say, I really appreciate that. It's nice to have people who you feel like don't expect anything from you.
We must all find time to live.
Hopefully you're doing the same.
Soon I will. Like you, I am very busy.
And what do you happen to be busying yourself with, if I may ask?
Matters of faith.
Seems we're two sides of the same coin in that matter, then.
We always have been.
She shrugs again. That's the way things are sometimes.
Like Janice. Two sides, but the same face.
Faith is faith. People want something to believe in. Whether it's Longinus or other entities, at the end of the day, we're all just wanting something greater than ourselves.
She considers that statement in silence for a moment. The silence, you don't really recognize the silence pass as you sort of stare at her bright red hair. It just sort of floats gently along the water. It is.
Get out, buddy. If you're speaking, I can't hear you.
I suffered a mic issue, sad face.
I did not hear a single thing you just said.
That's fine, I just suffered a mic issue, I'm back. She will say, "It is my belief that we all instinctively wish to be brought together.
I don't know if I can agree with that given the current state of things.
Just because we form circles doesn't mean those circles can't come into conflict with each other."
Not necessarily, but I think I think we can be brought together, but I don't think it's permanent. I think it's for a cause, for a situation, but at the end of the day, we have free will, and people are going to differ and people are going to drift. And I think that's natural.
It is often those that stand apart that bring people together, I find.
So I take it you're trying to bring people together then?
You sound so skeptical. And she giggles lightly.
I pray you don't take offense to it. I am very quickly learning. It is better to not accept everything at face value.
Those that do soon learn the errors of their ways. Every smile hides a set of fangs.
You are very correct in that. But I think there is an opportunity to bring people together, at least for a temporary stand here in the city. If you're interested in hearing about it.
Please. She rests back against the edge of the pool and closes her eyes for a moment. The one of the attendants by her looks as if they're trying to gauge something from her before wandering off.
I am not a particular fan of egregious death or violence, but there's a time and place where sins need to be cleared. And there is, I guess the best way to phrase it is, a cult in the sewers that is a bigger problem and a bigger threat to all of us than I think people are willing to recognize.
She doesn't move from her spot. She simply looks like she's listening and relaxing.
I think that the owl in the sewer is, while it may have started out as one Covenant's problem, it's going to very rapidly become all of ours. And based on the confrontation we had with it before, dealing with that, it's going to need to be a joint effort on everybody's part. like I said, it's an opportunity for all of us to come together, at least in a temporary basis, for our continued survival.
Yes. But that is the problem with demons once they are vanquished. What is left to keep us all together?
Where our existence is inherently enough to keep us on more or less the same side, no matter how often we fight each other. At the end of the day, I don't want to say we're all monsters, but we're all the same in a sense. But we all don't breathe. We all can't go out in the sun for too long. And the enemies that want to destroy us want to destroy all of us. It's not going to stop at the Carthians or the Sanctified or the Crone. It's going to be total destruction. And when threats like that arise, that's what bands us together, even when we're fighting each other.
Do you believe the prince would stop fighting the Carthians to fight the owls?
I think if it's presented in the right way, there's a chance. And if the prince isn't willing to let go of, I don't want to say a petty argument, but let go of a war to keep his people, to keep all of us alive, then I would hope the Invictus would recognize that as a failure of leadership and put in power a prince who does recognize the seriousness of the situation.
You are possessed of a lot of hope.
Hope isn't a plan. I wish I could be hopeful, but I prefer to be realistic. If an entity is unwilling to do what's best for them in a moment, regardless of whatever arguments they have with another person, then I'm sorry, they need to be taken care of. It doesn't just go to the Invictus, despite the fact that we're not the friendliest right now. That goes for the Carthians, that goes for us, that goes for you. I am rapidly losing patience for people who are more focused on their own plats when there are bigger things at play.
I suppose I wouldn't mind you taking care of me.
What was that? Will you please repeat yourself? Okay, you're just laughing, but I didn't hear what you said before the laughing.
Oh, you didn't actually hear? Okay, so you
No,
said...
I didn't. No, I didn't actually hear.
Oh. She just says, I suppose I wouldn't mind you taking care of me.
So, okay, she will laugh at that. Maybe not in the way I was referring to, but she'll kind of like give a grin and a wink and say, "I'll be sure to take care of you in plenty of other ways."
Carpe noctem, or so the kindred say.
I'm gonna regret saying this, but she's just gonna kind of gesture at the room and then at themselves and go, "Well, you've already seen me naked." But we can focus on that conversation another time. Are you okay?
No, her smile, like, how to say, it doesn't fade, rather it is different. Her body language changes in a fairly subtle way. She stops lounging against the edge of the pool and drifts towards you slightly. I don't believe that common enemies bring people together. I believe it is faith that brings people together. In both love and fear. The owls are only one of these things. Only half of Janice's face. So, how will the faithful bring everybody together again?
I suppose it depends on which faith you're talking about.
She just stares at you for a moment. She sort of waits expectantly.
I think I don't know. To be completely honest, I think it's a little bit different for everybody. You can ask 5 different sanctified why they're there, and I guarantee you they'll give you 5 different answers. But the fact that there is a faith to flock to, the fact that there is a common belief at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to disagree on things, but we all hold what we believe to be true. I think that's a pretty powerful unifying factor. And the people that stray either have the opportunity to get put on the right track, or they become examples that bind us closer together.
So what will you do?
What will I do? In what sense of the word?
How will you bring people together, and who will you make examples of?
I'm an entertainer. I'm a people person. People listen when I speak. And if I can use my words to bring them together, then that's great. But if they're not interested in what I have to say, then there's only so much the power of polite conversation can do for you. And as for the people that need to be made examples of, and she kind of like sits up a little and will like run a finger through her hair and say, well, it's not my job to take care of that. We have individuals more suited for that. And I have no issue pointing them in the right direction.
You've come very far.
I've got a lot further to go. But yeah, I've changed a lot. Even from when we met the first time.
Yes. You are very different.
If you don't keep up with the world, it leaves you behind. That requires quite a bit of change sometimes.
It does. Many look to kindred of my age, and they see those that have withered with time
but we would not be here if we had not changed with it.
Oh, no, sorry, you go.
You may yet make the journey.
I don't know what's gonna happen to me. But while I'm here, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure things resolve themselves in, I don't want to say a peaceful manner, but in one that in 20 years we can look back on and say, this isn't the greatest point of shame in our lives.
Something to look forward to, I suppose.
Or something to work towards.
What if I were to offer you my help in working towards that? She sort of takes your arms in hers.
Charlie kind of will look away for a second, kind of considering it, and then look at her and say, well, we can all use all the help we can get. We'll just have to have a conversation about the specifics.
Very business-minded for a sanctified.
I have more factors to consider. Things have changed, and it's not just me I need to worry about.
Who else do you need to worry about?
I'm surprised. I guess it just hadn't got out beyond the sanctified. I'm she'll laugh a little awkwardly and say, I'm the Bishop of Camden now.
You wear the title so loosely.
It hasn't quite sunk in yet.
I would like peace between us.
The sanctified need to get their ducks in a row before I can make any promises of peace.
That answer seems to disappoint her.
You have been very kind to me, and you are welcome within Camden as far as I'm concerned. But despite being a bishop, I still can't speak for the entirety of my covenant. But when we are in a better position, I can certainly put in a good word and put my support behind you in that matter.
I would like to meet with those that you consider friends. Among yours.
Would you mind repeating that?
She says, I would like to meet with those that you consider loyal to your cause.
To my cause and Sanctified, my cause and the current war, I have quite a bit of people that I'm concerning myself with.
The Crown have taken their pound of flesh from the church. I would not wish to become as the archbishops of old and reign over the ashes, so to speak.
I can certainly see about setting up a meeting with somebody then.
She's going to attempt to open your doors.
Go for it!
I need to double check what she has for this, because she has some stuff for this.
She has so much. She has like 10 dice for this.
I think she actually have more, to be fair.
Jesus Christ!
And she's getting +2. So let me, Okay, she gets an exceptional.
Another one! Another one!
So, Yep.
Okay.
I can't remember what I did the last time I rolled an exceptional success with her.
It was...
I just opened multiple doors.
It opens the door, and then you automatically move one higher on the impression track.
Oh wow, so your impression with her then would be very high.
Yeah! Yeah!
One second, I need to double check what her impression is of you, because she could elect to just roll immediately again.
Let me check. Okay, so it starts off as average, and then it was good.
That's excellent.
So now it's excellent. Let me... do failure, forcing doors. I'm looking for the, like, exceptional success for it.
Oh, an exceptional success opens 2 doors.
Okay. And then my starting doors were manipulation, or it was 5. So you got an exceptional success the first time, which is 2. You got I have 1 door left. I have 1 door. This is fine. And you can roll every hour now.
Excellent.
Yep.
So you're very
So-
swayed by her words. It's almost impossible to say no.
Yep.
Oh, and actually, you also have swooning.
Yeah. I'm still swooning, but I also have swooning, so.
And because you're swooning, her impression level is considered one higher.
Okay, yeah, no, so you can roll once per turn.
Okay, she's just gonna do that to you then. Oh, actually. Yeah, another exception.
What the fuck?
I have a free roll exception in a random character, it's so good. She does have 9 again, to be fair. And that helps. That actually got her. That actually made her the majority of her successes. She got a 9, which exploded into another 9, which exploded into an 8. So she got very lucky on that check. Most of that dice roll was actually very bad for her. She just got very lucky on the rerolls.
Yeah, no, what does she want?
As she attempts to convince you, she just sort of pulls you in and whispers into your ear her plans, what she would do for you, what she can do for you, what she's offering. Just sort of nibbling at your all of these promises and demands. She wants peace, but obviously peace can't be obtained unless the Sanctified gives something in return. And there is talk of domain, territory, blood. But no, it is... In this moment, there's perhaps very little you would not do for her. You can opt instead of doing what she wants. To instead offer an alternative. I will just
So, what specifically does she want then? Like, what is the stated goal?
she wants you to establish peace between she wants you to establish peace between the crone and the sanctified. In exchange for additional domains that the crone have yet to take. And specifically for people that the crone wishes to obtain from the sanctified. Mortal status, basically, and allies.
Okay.
So,
No, I'm just here because this is a bad situation regardless of what I do.
Yep. Now, you can go with her suggestions. And if you do so, you'll also gain a beat. Or you can offer an alternative, and I get to impose a condition on you.
Oh gosh. Okay, as an alternative, establishing a truce for mortal contacts and status, but not necessarily giving up domain or territory. A truce that's like, okay, for the next like X amount of years, we're gonna stay out of each other's business. Rather than an ongoing peace.
She will accept this offer. But she will take a personal favor from you in exchange. And that will be represented that and something else will be represented via the charmed condition that will last until you perform that favor for her. To explain charm to you, well, it is something you can get through majesty. In fact, that's the generally the only source of charmed. But you don't want to believe that anything they say is a lie. You can't read their true intentions. The vampire adds their majesty dots to manipulation rolls against you, and any wits plus empathy or subterfuge rolls you make to detect their lies or uncover their true motives suffer a penalty equal to their majesty dots. Using supernatural means to detect lies becomes a clash of wills. You want to do things to the vampire to make them happy. If they ask, you'll do favors for them. Like, if they want one of your best friends, giving them a place to crash, lending them your car keys, or revealing secrets that you really shouldn't. You can, of course, reveal a dangerous secret right now, if you would like.
This is so bad. This is such a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if I
oh no, this elder has you wrapped around their finger.
Look, in my defense, literally any other character would have gotten to this point probably way before I did.
This is true.
So if I reveal a secret now, does it resolve the condition?
If it reveals something that she does not know and can use, yes.
Oh boy. Okay, fine. Let's try to fucking do this. Charlie will just kind of, looking at her, obviously, like, drinking the Kool-Aid or whatever, just kind of prop up her chin with her hand and say, Isolde, you want to know how I became the Bishop of Camden?
She leans back against the edge of the pool.
I sold my sire out to the Inquisition. I let them in. Then I took a fire axe to his face. See, the thing about the Sanctified right now is we've had quite a few problems. And the Inquisition's getting ready to clean house. They've already decided on the new Archbishop.
And who is they?
The High Inquisitor, of course.
That's a lie.
No?
He's not going to be the new Archbishop.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood what you said by they. Yeah, I thought you meant they as in who decided it.
My bad. No, go ahead.
Okay, fuck, what was her name?
Castile.
It's gonna be Castile.
The best choice.
I'm inclined to agree, even if Castile and I don't necessarily get along too well.
Now, how could that possibly be?
I had some choice words in their office not too long ago. They didn't take too kindly to us delivering Joshua's body in a bag on her desk.
You are a woman of many surprises.
We'll do what it takes to make sure peace is achieved.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
She leans back against the pool. She motions to the mortals. Do you wish to partake?
I would be honored.
What is the bishop's tastes?
She kind of looks around at the individuals gathered, and if there's one that looks... She likes anxiety, and more specifically, like, being the one to, like, resolve that anxiety in people. So, like, if there's anybody who kind of fits that vibe, she'll kind of just, like, point to them and, like, gesture for them to come forward.
There is a of the men and women here, there is one of a younger woman who looks slightly out of place in her body language. And you can smell the fear in her blood. She is quite shocked when you gesture for her to come forward. Unfortunately, some of the fear fades. But she still has that ever delicious awkwardness.
Hell yeah. And I will take 1 point, cause puts me up to full blood, yo.
The ecstasy of a kiss as you bite into her neck leaves her drifting motionlessly across the pool. As she quite literally swims in the pleasure of the kiss. Juno smiles.
Charlotte will smile back. Thank you for your hospitality tonight.
You are most welcome. My only regret is I could not convince you to join our circle.
I have quite a bit of responsibility and quite a bit of people I need to take care of, but the invitation is still heavily appreciated.
I understand, Bishop. You have proven more devout than I anticipated, and I respect that.
Once again, I appreciate it, and you are welcome in Camden anytime.
I will make use of that invitation.
I should probably be heading back soon. I've got quite a bit of things I need to do tonight.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
And with that, she will get up and go.
You're able to get changed, approach the reception desk, and leave without issue. Receptionist hopes you had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to leave.
Yeah.
You do have much to do.
I do. Oh god, I have so much to do.
A new goal that you need to convince the other bishops to abide by. But you also have the support of the Inquisition. So perhaps if you lean on them as they are currently leaning on you for representation, maybe you can work something out.
God, I am so fucked.
And I think on that note, we can end the scene right there. Thank you, players playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye bye.